It's 1:17 in the afternoon. You're sitting on the couch, scrolling your phone, not really thinking about anything, when suddenly your dog walks over, looks you dead in the eyes, and starts licking your face, your hands, your arm, maybe even your feet if you're unlucky. Most people laugh it off. Dog kisses, a sign of love, affection. Maybe they just like your taste. But what your dog is actually doing in that moment is far more complex and far more ancient than most people realize. Because licking in the canine brain is not just affection, it's communication, it's biology, and in some cases, it's one of the clearest signals your dog can send you about how they see you. Let's start with the obvious explanation: affection. It feels right, doesn't it? Your dog licks you, you pet them, they wag their tail. Simple exchange. Love goes in, love comes out. But here's the problem with that explanation: dogs don't need licking to show affection. They can wag, lean, follow you, sit beside you, make eye contact. So why licking? To understand that, you have to go back, way before couches, before homes, before dogs were even dogs. Back to wolves. In wild wolf packs, licking plays a very specific role. When adult wolves return from a hunt, the younger or lower ranking members of the pack rush up to them and lick their faces. Not randomly, not playfully, deliberately. Because that behavior triggers regurgitation, the adult wolf will bring up partially digested food to feed the rest of the pack. It's survival behavior. But it's also something else: a signal of respect, submission, and trust. That behavior didn't disappear when wolves became dogs, it evolved. When your dog licks your face, your hands, or even just reaches toward your mouth area, they're tapping into that same ancient system. Except now, instead of asking for food, they're communicating something deeper. You're important. I trust you. I depend on you. But here's where it gets really interesting. Because licking isn't just about hierarchy, it's also about chemistry. Dogs experience the world primarily through scent. In fact, their sense of smell is estimated to be up to 100,000 times more sensitive than ours. And your skin, whether you realize it or not, is constantly producing chemical signals: sweat, hormones, subtle changes in your body's internal state. When your dog licks you, they're not just tasting you, they're analyzing you. Changes in salt concentration, stress hormones, even tiny fluctuations in your emotional state, all of that is detectable to them. Which means sometimes when your dog suddenly starts licking you more than usual, it's not random. They might be responding to something you can't even feel yet. Your dog isn't just showing affection, they're gathering information. Now add another layer: attachment. Researchers studying canine behavior have found that dogs form attachment bonds with humans that closely mirror the bond between human infants and their caregivers. Proximity seeking, distress when separated, comfort when reunited. And one of the key behaviors in attachment systems across species is physical contact. Licking, in this context, becomes something very specific: a way to maintain closeness, a way to regulate emotion, a way to say, without words, stay connected to me. But there's a twist most people never consider. Not all licking is about love, sometimes it's about stress. Veterinary behaviorists have identified licking as a displacement behavior, something dogs do to self soothe when they're anxious, uncertain, or overstimulated. You'll often see it in situations that don't quite add up. You come home after a long day. Your dog greets you and starts licking excessively. It looks like excitement, but underneath that excitement, there's often a layer of emotional overload. The licking helps them regulate it. In other cases, it can even become compulsive. Dogs left alone for long periods, dogs in unpredictable environments, dogs experiencing chronic stress. They may lick more, not because they love more, but because they're trying to cope. So the same behavior, licking, can mean completely different things depending on context. Affection, submission, information gathering, stress regulation, which raises a question almost nobody asks. How do you tell the difference? The answer isn't in the licking itself, it's in everything around it. A relaxed body, soft eyes, gentle tail movement, that's bonding. Fast, repetitive licking, tension in the body. Difficulty stopping, that's regulation. Your dog is always communicating. The behavior is just the surface. The meaning is underneath. And there's one more layer to this that makes the whole thing even deeper. Because when your dog licks you, something happens in your brain too. Physical contact with your dog, petting, touch, even close interaction, has been shown to reduce cortisol levels, your body's primary stress hormone. At the same time, it increases oxytocin, the same bonding chemical released between parents and children. So while your dog is using licking to connect, to communicate, to regulate, your body is responding by relaxing, bonding, attaching. It's a two-way system, not just them loving you, but your nervous system quietly syncing with theirs. Now think about that for a second. A behavior that started thousands of years ago in wild wolf packs, a survival mechanism tied to food, hierarchy, and trust, has evolved into a cross species communication system between you and your dog. And it's happening in the most ordinary moments: on the couch, on your bed, in the middle of a random afternoon. So the next time your dog walks over and starts licking your hand, your face, or even just nudges you for that connection, don't just brush it off as dog kisses. Pay attention, because depending on the moment, they might be telling you, I trust you, I need you, I'm overwhelmed, stay close, same behavior, completely different meanings. And the only thing that changes is what's going on beneath the surface. If this changed how you see your dog, subscribe to the channel and tell me in the comments, does your dog lick you more when you're calm or when you're stressed? Because what that answer is might tell you more about your dog than you think. And if you've ever wondered why your dog stares at you like they're trying to read your mind, that behavior is connected to something even stranger. And we're breaking it down in the next video.